Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London. This morning I'm looking at a book which has come to us from TOLLEY'S and LexisNexis, and it's a new area which they have produced. It's called the TOLLEY'S Techwise series, and they look at specific areas of taxation. We've looked at income tax and inheritance tax, and what we're looking at this morning is capital gains tax. It's this book here. It's actually a paperback. This is quite light. The income tax one's a bit heavier. There's the front, there's the side, and then the spine, and then there's the back. You can see what you've got. You've got a little index at the back. It's quite helpful. Very much the house style for Lexis. Very helpful. At the front, you've got the normal stuff. You've got a little bit of the front page there. Then you've got the capital gains tax bit there. And you've got an introduction. Now the team have set out, you can see the introduction there, have set out clearly what the aim of this book is. It's written by the TOLLEY'S examination training author team, so we don't have any names. There are 32 chapters in total, and what you've got with this, you've got again, which is what I like, a lot of illustrative examples in shaded areas. I'll mention that again later, which try to help you work out what you've got. This is grant of leases, for instance. There we go. Technical, very, very, very heavy work, but actually rather nicely done. Lot of examples, as you can see, as you go through the book, you can see an awful lot of examples. I'm just flicking through casually just to see what's available. Gift relief, for instance, there you've got that mention, and so on. Now, I'm very pleased with this book. It runs to about just under 200 pages, something like that. Elizabeth and I have written a review anyway of this book. We think it's very good. It's part of a series of books. I think there are about half a dozen. We were reviewing a couple of them. Anyway, this book, we have given it this title, What a Relief, an accessible guide from TOLLEY'S to capital gains tax for experts and non-experts alike. And this is what we say about the book. As every accountant, legal practitioner or tax advisor knows, TOLLEY'S tax annuals have over the years kept practitioners up to date with the inevitable changes in tax legislation. However, whether you are a tax expert or not, you should also know about the Techwise series, the newly launched books or manuals of tax from TOLLEY'S. There are a whole range of them. We're looking at a couple. Each covers a specific area of tax. This one is on capital gains tax, CGT. Techwise manuals are designed, from what we can see, to make your life just a little bit easier in this actually complex area of law, especially if you're under pressure, because it's not the easiest subject in the world to understand. Revenue law never being a very popular subject with students, I hasten to add. Our comments here will focus on the Techwise publication, as I say, called Capital Gains Tax 2014 to 15. There will be another one, I've no doubt, for 2015 to 16, and that will be after the general election on the 7th of May 2015. Also note that there's a Techwise manual, of course, on income tax, which we reviewed, and also one on inheritance tax, and much more besides. As TOLLEY'S explain, Techwise offers the same trusted and reliable analysis of the law and its practical application as the familiar tax annuals, which we all know about, but in a more concise and accessible form. This publication on capital gains offers a plain-speaking, practical approach to all or most problems or issues that you, and certainly your clients, might encounter in this area of tax, whether you are an expert or not. Much more than just a précis or digest of TOLLEY'S tax annuals, which is what possibly people might think they are, each Techwise publication, in fact, including this one, which is on CGT, deals with all facets of the subject in a clear and comprehensive manner, with all the main criteria pertaining to the subject carefully examined and explained. Devices such as the flowchart or the illustrative example, which are in the boxed and shaded sections, are all designed to demonstrate graphically the way in which specific tax principles on CGT work in practice, and I think they're very successful with that. That's actually the sort of teaching aid that many people want. Within its 33 chapters then, Tolley's Techwise Capital Gains Tax 2014 to 15 covers every pertinent aspect of this undoubtedly complex subject, from calculating CGT liability to the various reliefs available. These include, for instance, reliefs for entrepreneurs, gifts, principal residences, rollover, incorporation, and much more. There are also comments on reliefs for assets lost, damaged or destroyed, plus chapters on foreign aspects of CGT, including the special rules. That again is important because we are much more of a worldwide community today, and of course that is very relevant. It's also very controversial, as you know, from what's happening in the election campaign. Fully up to date with the provisions of the Finance Act 2014, Tolley's Techwise CGT for 2014-15 is written by experts in the Tolley exam training team, which for over 10 years now have been running courses and writing course materials for tax examinations. Let me conclude by saying that we think the main advantage of Techwise is that it uncomplicates the often complicated issues relating to CGT and is therefore useful for most, if not all, readers involved with tax. For tax advisors and their clients, as well as non-experts, we think Techwise should be considered an essential purchase. And I think because it makes things so easy to understand and sensible in what is a difficult area, let's face it. I think they've succeeded very well indeed. So thank you to the team and to Tolley's and LexisNexis for an excellent publication. Bye-bye.